later.
Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
Thank you for tuning back in to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog Talking News for the day. Giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Thank you to the ones that hit it already. Hit that like button before you get up out of here. Go ahead and hit it right now so you won't forget. Don't forget to drop down in them comments as well. Hit that notification bell if you haven't hit that yet. That way you be in the loop when the videos dropping, man. Where you be getting the videos when they drop. You know, you get that alert. You know, let's get into that dog news for the day. Shout out to all the bulldoggers from the north, south, east to the west, across the world. Like I always say, that's doing the right things with these dogs. You know what I'm saying? Doing the right things with these dogs. One thing I want to say, I was reading through some articles, and I ran across a topic that made sense. You can't build gameness. You know what I'm saying? You can build toughness. You can't build gameness, but you can build toughness. And it's just plain out common sense. You don't really need a whole lot of explaining. You know, you can't build gameness. You can build toughness. You know, it's just self-explanatory. You know, and I'm not gonna stay on that too long. I'm just gonna say it one more time. You can't build gameness. You can build toughness. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say shout out to brother Yellow One. You know, you was asking me a question about the breeding I posted with the yellow dog. And that's why I hate text messages, because text messages you can't really understand, or, you know, it can go all kind of ways. You know what I'm saying? But you was asking me about the breeding with when I posted with the yellow dog. Okay, that male, he's 12 years old in that picture. He was born in year 2000. He was born in the year 2000 off a natural breeding off a natural son of Yellow when Yellow was living. Toe Jam. Toe Jam created the dog that you see in that picture. Toe Jam was created by Yellow. No sperm breeding, no artificial breeding, no frozen semen, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? Straight natural. All right, the dog that I'm telling you, that dog there in that picture, that's Sambo's uncle. Sambo daddy, that's his half brother. Same daddy, different mamas. But yeah, that's off of natural breeding, bro. Everything natural. When Yellow was living, made Toe Jam. Toe Jam lived to old age, created that dog. That dog was 12 years old when I got him. I didn't get him from a puppy. This other brother I know, one of my good friends, he raised him from a puppy. I remember when that little was born. I was dealing with Crossroad when that little was born. Brother I know got the dog, raised him up. I bought the dog from him as a grown dog, already old already. And the only reason I got him because I knew where he came from. I knew what he was off of, you know what I'm saying? So there was no hesitation in getting him, So, yeah, he was what he was. You know what I'm saying? He was what he was. But shout out to you, brother, for checking me out. For all my people that rock with me, don't forget to tune in to the Saturday night special, 9 o'clock p.m., Saturday Night Live Dog Talk. You know what I'm saying? It's going down like we always do it. PBK9 is giving it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? I was searching through it, and I read another article. I like to read. Read another article and it said, dogs aren't wolves. And it was basically breaking down the digestive system in dogs and how it's different from, your wolves. And that basically comes from the domestication and all that stuff. Over periods of time, the dog was eating this while the wolf was still eating this. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm just going to make one statement. If I had to make my article, the response from that, my article would say, dogs aren't wolves, but they aren't chickens either. Dogs aren't wolves, but neither are they chickens. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Corn ain't the best for your dog. You know what I'm saying? Our dogs grew up on corn all their lives. We have dogs that then turn 15, 16, 17, 18 years old eating corn dog food, eating the sorriest dog food that we consider sorry. You know what I'm saying? The commercial dog food like Kibbles and Bits, Pedigree, Alpo, and stuff like that. Dogs living to 15, 16 years old eating this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And we complain about it, and we try to feed all these high dollar foods, you know what I'm saying? All these high dollar stuff, and our dogs dying at 8, 7, 6. Some of them dying younger than that, you know what I'm saying? Some of them dying younger than that. Now, my next question, is about to get into some dog talk. I want to ask y'all brothers and sisters this. All right, we talking about the past and we talking about the present. Okay, when we start asking brothers and sisters, name your top 5 dog men of all time. You know what I'm saying? And which is your opinion, and you're supposed to give your opinion. Nobody's opinion is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to ask y'all is, when everybody always, and I say this with no malice, and I'm going to say this one time and I'm going to, correct it. But what makes Earl Tudor so great as a great dog man? Is it because he, had some of the first pit bulls, during that time? Is it because his dogs weren't winners? They wasn't like grand champion this, grand champion that, grand champion this, grand champion that, champion this, champion that. All right, now you got to ask yourself this. Why he didn't have as many grand champions and champions, and he was in an era where they could make grand champions and champions without the law interfering? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why isn't his pedigrees full up with champions? Being that these are supposed to be match dogs that he had back in them days. And everybody always calling him great. Not saying that he don't deserve his respect due, period. Great dog man. But what makes him great is what I'm asking y'all. Is it because, what? Because he had 100 dogs? Because I know brothers now with 100 dogs. What makes him great? We got brothers that's trying to ask, that want to know this because they want to, you got brothers who love him to death, never met him, want to emulate him, be like him, never met him. So they want to know what makes him great. What makes Earl Tudor great to be in y'all top 5 great dog man? What do y'all consider great? Men who took the dogs and worked them, or men who bred them, or what? It just depends. Sometimes I know it goes with the breeders. Sometimes I know it goes with the performers. But how about if you're not a performer, but you just there, right place at the right time, what I call it? Is it a situation of right place at the right time that makes him great? I'm just trying to figure out, man. Because you got dog brothers in more modern time than Earl Tudor with a whole lot bigger record that produce a whole lot better dogs, but their name don't get mentioned in the way his name get mentioned. Like, what makes him great? I'm trying to figure out, and I ain't saying this like saying I don't agree with what a lot of you guys are saying, but what makes him great? Debo? Was Debo a winner? Debo was in everybody's pedigree, but what if Debo was a cur? That means everybody got curs in the pedigree. You know what I'm saying? What makes him so great? What makes his dog so great? Do we see winners, winners, winners? Do we hear about winners, winners, winners? We hear about stuff them boys, Kobe and them was doing in 1906. We hear about that stuff. Why we don't hear about Tudor winners, winners, winners? No disrespect to them. You know, if Maurice Carver had winners, we heard about them. You know, these brothers who were in, we about to get tight on them real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cause we be tight on our brothers in modern day laws. Let's use reality and get back tight on these brothers. Okay, we talking no laws the way they is now compared to the way it is now. It wasn't law period compared to the way it is now. Okay, now we talking about we got the records of these dogs. Why these dogs ain't winners? What was holding you back? Was you scared? Was you just breeding dogs? Was you puppy peddling? You know what I'm saying? Just because there wasn't no internet and none of that going on don't mean you wasn't no puppy peddler. Don't mean you wasn't breeding effed up. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean just because you was before all the other brothers with pit bulls, don't mean you had a good breeding record. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Debo and everybody's pedigrees, but people made breeders after Debo. Do any of them people get credit? You know, all the female dogs that Debo bred to get these dogs that we got today. Do any of them dogs get credit? Because we forget all them dogs. We always say Debo, Debo, Debo. And Debo, what kind of record was Debo had? What kind of record did Debo have? You know? Yeah, he produced a couple great ones. But he produced more great grandkids, more great ones that was great-grands, great-great-grands. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to the brothers who was making them breeders after Tudor, taking them Tudor dogs and breeding them Tudor dogs. So, you know, it goes back to say, like I said before, I'm not knocking nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we sticking strictly to the dogs. But what makes him a great dog, man? To speak his name higher than your name. And if you're doing the same thing, you producing great dogs, you're making great breeds, and, you know, you got 100 dogs. I don't know how many dogs he had. You know, I'm just, you know, using that as an example. You know, because I'm just looking at it like the laws were nothing back then. So why don't these brothers have all grand champions, all champions if they were so great? If they was doing so much, why don't they have two-timers, one-timers? We got the records for all this other stuff. I mean, we got the records for, what's the dog name that had, what's the dog name, man? I can't even think of the dog name right now. I did the show on the dog. Dog had about 18, 19 wins, 20-some wins. You know what I'm talking about, old school dog, man. Can't think of his name right now. I'm lost right now on it. But you know who I'm talking about. Back in the days, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no 60s. I'm talking about way back. Had about 20-some matches. I can't think of his name right now. You know what I'm saying? But we got that record. But see, that brother didn't have, you know, why we ain't got all the other records? I don't know, man. But my whole thing is what makes him so great. So these brothers in modern day time can figure out how to be great when it comes to the dog, man, to be spoken on the way he's spoken on 60, 70 years later, 80 years later, 90 years later. Man, I don't even know when the hell that dude was out at bulldogging. You know what I'm saying? I just know it was a long time. So many things changed since he was bulldogging. Hell, man, look up, man. So many things changed since he was bulldogging. And you telling me he ain't got no recorded champions, grand champions? I'm talking about massive amount. Not no one or two. Not no one or two. We ain't talking about no 1999, 2000 where you can have one or two champions recorded because the laws was changed. 2001. We talking about before we can vote. Before we can drink out the same water as him. Why he ain't got no, I don't know, y'all. Somebody tell me something. Somebody tell me something. Somebody tell me something. But yeah, we're going to keep it moving because I got another topic to hit real quick. We're going to hit this topic here. Let's get into it. Oh, I do want to say shout out to brother Dante and his wife for coming down from West Virginia, hollering at your boy Pelican Bay Canines. You know what I'm saying? Hollering at Pelican Bay Canines. I appreciate you, my brother. Like I always say, anything you need, ask me. And I'm going to give, later on in this video, I'm going to give, some websites and some different things, that might help different brothers out when it comes to protection work or dog training. You know what I'm saying? So keep watching this video because we're going to be talking about that later on. But right now, I want to get into this subject. Okay? I see a lot of brothers that say that, think high on being in the dog game 20 years and breeding dogs for 20 years. I see brothers that throw this in their face and say breeding for 20 years and in the dog game for 20 years and they ain't got no dogs to show for it. They ain't talking about me, they talking about anybody in general. You know what I'm saying? But my question is, right? See, I keep telling y'all egos is in the way of the real dog game. Your egos are in the way of the real dog man and real dog game. Let me explain that. Let me explain that. Does it matter if, because I'm going to ask you this right here. Some of my brothers who think they got good lines, which they do, and you've been breeding for 20 years. You got dogs in the papers, your name in the papers back to the 6th, 7th, 8th generation. All the way to the front. Your name's in the papers, right? But I got one big question for you. Because see, we let egos get in the way of this dog game and our dog brothers, right? So I'm going to ask you this question. So what happens when one of them 19-year-old dog brothers get a male and a female, first set of American Pit Bull Terriers, a real American Pit Bull Terriers, but that's his first set. Make a breeding, make a litter of puppies, and it's better than every single one puppy off that litter is better than every single puppy dog on your damn yard. 20 years worth of breeding. Big dog man, big dog kennel, 20 years worth of breeding. 19-year-old just made one litter that's better than every damn dog on your yard. But your ego in the way. You ain't worrying about where the better dog's at. You worrying about what looks good. Like I told y'all before, what looks good. The kennel that got the fancy kennels, the fancy chain setups, the fancy dog houses, the fancy all this other stuff. And getting a mutt dog. You know what I'm saying? Getting your mutt dog. You're worrying about all this other stuff, but ain't worrying about the dog. You know what I'm saying? Ain't worrying about the dog. You can get the best dog you ever had in your life with papers from a brother who ain't known. You know what I'm saying? But you won't get it. You won't get it. Because that brother charges you $900, $1,000. And you can go get you one for $2,000 from the same bloodline from, what you consider the source. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is, man. One thing about it, when it comes to money, everybody had their own, and everybody spend theirs with whoever they want to spend it with. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole big deal. At the end of the day, you can't argue with nobody about how they going to spend theirs because it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? But I know one thing. You can be breeding what you consider good for 20 years, for 40 years. One of them young bucks get two dogs breeded up together and rock your whole yard to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they won't be able to go dog for dog with you, but who got to go dog for dog with you when we go straight to the top? We get the best one. We ain't going to start from the bottom and let you keep working. See, listen here, young bucks. Listen here. That's what you don't do either. Got to be careful. Boys with them big dogs. That's why you best off telling them, yo, you step to them back then, I want the best thing you got. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to wiggle me. Wiggle to something sorry with me to test me out. I beat him. Now you trying to wiggle something else sorry with me. Now you done ran 5 dogs in me before you done ran something that still ain't your best. You done ran 6 or 7 of your dogs into me. You know what I'm saying? Just to test. just to see this, just to try me that. No, man. I want the best thing on your damn yard. You know what I'm saying? The best thing on your yard. You know? And if not, I don't want no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Because it might not be no rematch. Might not be no rematch. And you don't want 30 years, 40 years down the line, they say, oh, Jim Bob Todd done beat so-and-so, and come to find out it was true, and everybody thought so-and-so couldn't be beat. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And when them big kennels get beat, they don't want them little kennels to tell. They make all kind of different reasons for them not to say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because egos, you're not supposed to win. You know, you just a young buck in the game. You just a rookie. You're not supposed to know more than me. You're not supposed to know more than me, knowledge-wise, because I'm older than you. Okay, but at the end of the day, that dog do the talking. You heard the old saying, how the old saying goes. At the end of the day, all that other stuff you bought, all that other stuff you got, none of that do the talking. That dog do the talking. That dog do the walking. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you remember, you know, during them times. You remember. It don't matter what this kennel name about. It don't matter about none of that. All that matter, this dog gonna do the talking. And if this dog ain't doing the talking, we gonna handle that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna handle it. You know, it is what it is. But like I say, be well. Stop bragging about your years in your breeding program. If you ain't breeding the quality stock that can stop that man over there, the 17-year-old with one dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call one dogging them. You know what I'm saying? You can big dog them and you can one dog them. You know what I'm saying? One dog them is when you take your one dog and shut the whole big kennel down. You know what I'm saying? Shut your whole kennel down. You know? Hey, it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, I use certain kennels for examples because they're more famous. The dogs are more famous. Like say, Macho Buck them. You know what I'm saying? Back in them days. If I'm going to go into that kennel, you know, I would want Macho Buck because I want the best thing on the yard. I don't want nothing under him. I don't want his sons, none of that. I want him. You know what I'm saying? If he going to beat me, he going to beat me. If not, it is what it is. And once I finish him off, I don't got nothing else to prove with your whole yard. You know, because that was your quality, your best stock. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to go back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is back in them days. But back to what I said before we move on to the next subject. Why the hell Earl Tudor ain't got buku loads of champions, buku loads of grand champions when he was in the era of can't vote, can't drink out the water faucet, can't walk down the street with my white brothers, can't have my white girlfriend and go down the street and chill with her the way I can right now. He was in that era, so I know he could do a whole lot more than what these brothers could do in the 90s. These brothers in the 90s got way better records than he had. Breeding records and winning records. Only thing he could be credited for is Debo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out what was so important about, you know, like right now, y'all brothers say, what's so important about this dog? What makes him so good? Y'all always saying, what is he proving? What was Debo proving? Was Debo a proven stud? You know what I'm saying? What made him so great? Because the brothers who got the dogs off of these dogs, what made him great. Oh, man, it's coming down off Tudor's Dabo. Everybody looking at their pedigree coming down off Tudor's Dabo. Dabo's a damn cur. Brothers just bred their dogs different ways, made sure they kept the best of the best and got better dogs. Not saying Dabo was a cur. I'm just saying, what if? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we hear about dogs with records way before his time. You know what I'm saying? Way before his time. And it looked like to me, instead of him being the best breeder of his time, maybe Tudor's Dabo was one of the only breeders of his time that made him so great. That's what made him so great, being that dogs wasn't as plentiful as they is now, of course. You know what I'm saying? And dog men with yards like him were as plentiful as they is now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody Earl Tudors now. You know what I'm saying? If you had brothers with yards back then, like they had now, y'all all to be considered like that. You know what I'm saying? You all will be considered the same way. Be screaming your name the same way you screaming him. You know what I'm saying? Same way you screaming him. But I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's keep this thing moving. Shout out to all the Bulldogs. Like I always say, man, from the north to the south to the east to the west. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Samurai Kennel and the whole Samurai crew. See, when it comes to this dog fighting situation, it's like you have to hit things from different angles. You know what I'm saying? You have to hit things from different angles. For instance, you know how we all know that all kids love each other. We know that. We know that all kids will play with each other from the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They don't care about colors. We know that colors are taught in the household. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start teaching pit bull awareness and the things about these pit bulls from the inside out, man. We're going to have to start doing it from the inside out. What I mean by that is when things come on, when you start seeing news or, articles flashing on the TV showing brothers getting busted with this and that, you can't let false conversations go on in your house without it being corrected, and just let it, so people can be aware and be educated of these dogs and the things that's going on with these dogs, and then that way when they speak on it and they hear about it, they can be like, oh man, I heard they ain't doing nothing but busting drug dealers and trying to blame them all for dog fighting. You be having people saying that don't even care about dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because of awareness from the family, from inside out. You got to teach it, man, the same way everything else is taught. We got to figure out a way to hit it in the head, but hit it from a different way, because we see that the politicians really don't care. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hit it different way, man. And same way I say, teach our young folk, teach our young kids. When we see anything about these dogs, we can't let the stereotype be that way. You know what I'm saying? When we riding down the street and you ride past a black brother with a pit bull, and our wife or our husband say, look at that dog fighter or something. As a white brother or sister in the dog fraternity, we need to stick up and say, why you say that? Why you say that? Because the way he dressed? Why you say that? You know what I'm saying? We need to stop saying certain things, and we need to build that from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? We have these stereotypes that's already built in the human brain. You know what I'm saying? From the time we come up. You know what I'm saying? From the time we come up, period. Like if you see 10 black brothers walking down the street and one brother got a pit bull and it's 10 brothers following behind him, don't mean they're going to get into some mischief. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean they're going to get into some mischief. It means we need to start at home, start telling folk that the pit bull is not a sign of negativity. The black brother with the pit bull is not a sign of negativity. You know what I'm saying? We got to start it from the inside out, man. Yeah, it's a lot of people that's doing a lot of bad things with these dogs, And like I said, we can't control that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to control it. All we trying to do is show that the good people out here is getting mixed with the bad people out here. And we're not trying to get involved with folk doing their job. Do your job. But don't get lazy on the job and start accusing folk of doing things they ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? That's all we saying. That's all we saying. But let's keep this thing moving for the PBK9 Dog Talk for the day. All right, right here I want to show y'all a good website that I refer to as far as training stuff and anything when it comes to any kind of dog training. It don't matter what kind of breed of dog you got. It's called Elite Canine. Elite Canine. And check the website out. Great website. They got tons of things in there. I'm talking about you can train your dog for anything you could think of. They got bite suits, bite sleeves, books, clothing, decals, dog doors, dog houses, dog training, electric collars, first aid, flex poles. They got GoPro cameras. All kind of canine stuff, man. Any type of scent detection you're trying to get. Elite Canine, and sell magazines and different things, You know, it's a good website to check out if you're looking for your protection work and dog training equipment. Now, I do want to show y'all this next video because these cockfighting busts are getting more regular around the country. This was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We got body cam footage. You know, I ain't going to do too much talking about it, but let's get into the video.
Operation shut down over the weekend.
Albuquerque police giving us body cam video of the bust. Here's reporter Faith Iwanu.
One rooster dead, another severely injured in a cockfight.
This one was getting ready to fight. They were getting ready to fight this one.
Police shutting down the operation in southeast Albuquerque over the weekend.
So this one was getting ready to fight?
Yeah. It's either getting ready to fight or already fought and won.
Yeah, he has blood on his feet too.
Yeah, so he already fought.
20 people scattering the scene when officers arrived. However, 6 roosters were found alive.
There should be a bunch in the shed, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here.
Body cam video from APD shows one officer rescuing a rooster from a shed with his legs tied.
Certainly, cockfighting in and of itself is illegal.
The state banned the blood sport in 2007. But advocates for animal protection say it continues to fall on deaf ears.
It's really kind of infuriating that it continues. We get reports of cockfighting all the time in New Mexico.
PETA denouncing the sport and a call for swift action to be taken.
There's simply no place for this kind of blood sport in today's society, and they're basically forced to fight to the death, all for the enjoyment of spectators. It fast tracks guns, drugs, and other illegal activities right into your communities.
Faith Iwanu, KOAT, Action 7 News.
Now, I want to say again to all my folk, tune in Saturday night special. You know what I'm saying? 9 o'clock. Tune in to the Saturday Night Live Dog Talk, you know, so we can do it the way we always do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it the way we always do it. Talk about them dogs, talk about their health, and all other type of things. So tune in, man. Saturday night, I'm going to be dropping all week like I always tell you. But y'all be ready for Saturday. Now, this next video I want y'all brothers and sisters to watch. You know, I always show you the attacks that don't be pit bulls and different type of dogs or whatever. Okay. This next video is an attack where we got pit bulls. You know, at least one. You know, I can't really see because it's grainy footage. But a lot of y'all brothers have seen it already on one of them social sites, you know what I'm saying? But we do have a pit bull assailant in the crowd. And my whole thing talking about this video is brothers who walk around with multiple dogs loose in the public. You always got to keep this in mind. If anything ever happens, can you handle all 3 of these dogs at once? You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to always realize. See, we can have 5 and 6 dogs. Like, I can have all these Malinois pit bulls. I can have 3 Malinois and 2 pit bulls that I can control all of them at one time, right? And I'm by myself and it's cool, you know? But when I go around other people, it's when you got to be careful because you can have 4 friendly dogs and 1 vicious dog. Once that vicious dog start attacking, it automatically snaps the other dogs out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe out of them other 4 dogs, you might have 1 that don't attack. Just say, oh man, forget them. I'm going somewhere else. The other 3, they're going to attack. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do the same thing the other dog's doing. They're following their counterpart. They're look-alike. You don't look like them. They're going with the people. I mean, the other dog. The dog is attacking, so they're going to attack. You know, it's follow the leader. And you got to remember that even when you got peaceful and playful dogs, you can't think, you can't forget that your dogs will show you something that you never seen in them before if they get attacking somebody. You know what I'm saying? If they get attacking somebody, you just got to be careful, man, when you're taking multiple dogs out. You know, we might think we know them dogs, and it's cool on your premises. You know what I'm saying? And that could have happened on his premises. You know, when you start dealing with around people, you really got to be careful with multiple dogs. You know, you really got to be careful because them dogs start getting in pack formation and start getting with a pack mentality. You know, so just keep it in mind and stay safe out there with them dogs, man, when you're walking in packs and when you're chilling in them pack dogs, you know, when you're walking like that. And before I get up out of here, man, we're going to go back to the 1930s to find the first African-American AKC judge, Mr. J.P. McCain. You know, Mr. J.P. McCain, first African-American AKC judge, and here go his picture. But like I said, man, y'all tune in to the Saturday night special, Saturday Night Live Dog Talk, special guest live. You know what I'm saying? PBK's giving it to you. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all keep bulldogging the legal and the right way, you know, because we don't condone anything illegal. Shout out to all my bulldoggers from one side of the world to the other side of the world, PB Canines, and I'm out.